Hello, Mr. Horvath. Good afternoon. We're happy to have you as part of our mini career forum. You are the founder and the CEO of Abroad Films. So it means that you are doing film producing, especially commercials, but not only, in Hungary and Bulgaria. So we are very happy to have you. It's the first time that we met someone who is in the art industry or film industry in our career forum. So that's why it was very important to hear from you and to for you to share your experience, your professional experience. So thank you very much for coming and for being with us today. So you're going to talk a little bit, and then after the students will ask you questions if you don't mind. Okay.
No, absolutely. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me, and hello everyone. And just let me add something what you told as and introduce me, because I have so two companies. One is the film production, what you mentioned. The other one is an advertising agency. So I thought I'm gonna talk both of them, but mainly I will start with the advertising, and later I will talk on film producing and film commercials.
Okay.
If you don't mind. Okay. So can we start?
Yes, we can, of course.
Okay. I have a presentation. I don't know. Can I share my screen?
Of course you can.
Madame?
But,
pardon. Sorry to interrupt.
No, yeah.
Madame?
Yeah, Oscar.
Alors, Charles m'a répondu en disant que ça faisait comme 10 fois qu'il faisait ça, mais ça marchait pas.
Ok. Bah écoute, je sais pas. Je peux rien faire là. D'accord. So yes.
I'm afraid I need your permission to share my screen.
Yes. That's okay.
That's fine now. Okay. Okay. Everyone can see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
So as I told, advertising and film production, that's the two business what I'm in now, and yeah, but these two businesses just goes together, because firstly I made an advertising agency, and finally in the last 3 years I established a film production company. And as I told you, it belongs together, because we produce our own advertisements, or we started like this, and later we produced other film productions as well. So let's start how I began everything. I think it is the biggest decision in someone's life. What shall I do in my life? Okay, I'm a young adult, I'm a student, and I want to do something in my life. But as I know, no one knows, or very less people know that exactly what he or she want to do later. My experience was that I really didn't have any idea what I want to do. I just always did what I like to do, and somehow I found myself in the advertising business. But it was not an obvious thing, and it was not a straight direction from the school to this professional life. So this border between the school life and student life and the professional life, it's it can be a border what you can step over, but most of the cases it's not only one step. It takes more steps, or rather a transition, and maybe it takes years, for example. So as I remember, I was maybe in the middle of 20s or the early 20s in my age when I realized that okay, I'm in the advertising business and that's what I do. So it was not a direct decision from my side. So I think it's absolutely normal, and as I told, it sometimes just happen by accident. But if I think back what happened, maybe it's not an accident, because I always did what I wanted to do and what I like to do, and it is not an accident. If you have some willing to do something and you always do the same or similar stuff, it will be sooner or later a professional life. So I can tell you, it's good if you don't know what you want to do later, but it's not good if you don't do anything. So just let's do something. That's the point. And sooner or later you're gonna find yourself, or your professional life will find you. So that's all. Yeah, that's a very optimistic picture. So finally everyone will find his or her success and the professional life. So after a few years, I realized that I run an advertising agency, which started just three of us. I established my first advertising agency with two partners of mine, and it happened maybe. So during the university, we organized events on the university, and but during the university, I also worked for shops, fashion shops. During the high school, exactly. So before the university, I worked for fashion shop in Budapest, and as a summer work, I sell T-shirts in the street. So it was very good money for me for the summer, and it started like this. And it was very important because years later, this guy who was the owner of this fashion shop called me that, hey Attila, I heard that you organize events and you are a commercial guy. And obviously I wasn't a commercial guy at that time, but I didn't tell it, just keeping myself. And yes, Peter, yes, I am. Yeah. What can I have? And he said, okay, I'm opening the first official Levi's store in Eastern Europe. It was middle of the 90s or early 90s. And if you can help me to make a campaign and an opening event, that would be nice. Sure thing. Yes, absolutely. That's the thing what I always done, and I'm professionally. But actually, that was the first job what I did. So it was very important because he knows me before when I worked for him as a T-shirt seller, and it's a good example how the networking is very important. And for build a good networking and connections, the good school is very good opportunity and a good base for you guys to start your build your network. So it can help later to do your business and to achieve your goals in your professional life. So that's the way how the school life can connect with the later professional life.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened like this, and later we with two partners of mine, we established our first advertising agency, and we started with very small scales and small jobs and small campaigns like this, and year by year it getting better, and we preached a lot, and the late 90s was the first time when we worked an international brand. It called Panasonic. Maybe your generation is not aware of this this brand, but
yes,
but it was a very it was similar than like now the Google or something. So it was a very good brand, and we won the speech, and we could make them image films and advertisements. So I find myself finally in the advertising business, and I've done it for more than 20 years. And let me introduce you guys this professional, or what an advertising agency does. That's the question. So I have a question. If you see this picture, what is it?
So what is it?
Cereal.
Yes.
Everyone can answer my question.
Yeah.
Cereal.
Cereal. Okay. Very well. So this is cereal, yeah, and this is a product actually, and this is a brand.
Mm.
So maybe you can feel the difference, but in the next few minutes I'm gonna tell a few things about the difference between a product and between a brand. So the product, what you saw before, is a generic product, and it has objective features. You know, a cereal has taste, has smell, colors. That's all. But if you put it in a package like this, and you put a brand name on this package, and you advertise this brand, so you can add a lot of more characters and more subjectives and more features for a brand, which is much more than just a product. So what an agency does is build a brand above or around a product. Why it's important? So few hundred years ago, it was not important to differentiate between products, because if you enter the store, you could buy flowers and butter or milk, and that's all, and there was no difference what kind of milk or what kind of butter is it, because it was butter and milk. That's you call a generic product. But later, when the market get bigger and grow, more and more producers enter the market, and one of them says, okay, my butter is more creamy, more fine than the others. So that's how it started. This producer wanted to differentiate his own product from the others, so he just put a label on it. And the branding is to fill with meanings and feelings this label, and this how you differentiate your product or your brand from the others. So that's the difference between product and between brand. And nowadays we are living in a modern world. And that's called marketing, when you do the market and when you try to convince the consumers that let's choose your product. So at the marketing there are 4 P, This is 4 tools what you can use if you have a brand. If you have brand, so if you are the brand owner, typically these are our clients, the brand owners. What is this 4P? The 4P is the product itself, which is very important because that's the base of the whole brand, and that's the point where you can start the differentiation. The second P is the price, the placement, and promotion. The promotion is a little bit old-fashioned word, so we can call it now communication, for example, but the meaning is the same. So these 4 things are enough to build a brand and differentiate your brand to the others. The product is very important, as I said, because it's evident that if your product is better than the other, there are objective quality difference what can be between different products. The price also helps you because if you give a very high price for a product, it obviously means this product should be very good product and in a very good quality. If it's a cheap price, everyone thinks that okay, it's not the best quality, but I can take it easily and I can buy a lot of them. The placement means where you sell your product. For example, I don't know if anyone knows the Rituals. It's a cosmetic brand. Just an example. Rituals has own brand stores, so it's a way of a differentiation. If you don't sell your product in a supermarket or a druggery, just separate your brand from the others. It also makes your brand more exclusive and more meaning more quality, and you can sell it in a higher price. That's all. If you sell your product in a supermarket, especially in a lower level on the shelves, that means this quality and this placement is very cheap. And finally, the promotion, what an agency does, and my agency also does it. So the communication, because the first 3 is the territory of the brand owner. So the clients, the big companies or small company who owns a brand, they decide what about the product quality, what about the price and the placement. And an advertising agency is in charge to make the communication and find out how we communicate to the customers about the brand. So an ad agency makes the brand communication. So our job is, in one word, is the engagement. What can mean that we try to build a connection, a strong connection between a customer and the product and the brand. So the situation is, here is this guy. I suppose he's in a supermarket and he's watching the lot of brands of cereals, what we saw before, and our job is to lead his hand and let's choose that brand. What I'm communicate, so what I'm in charge to communicate, and drawing his attention onto this brand. And if I do my job well, or an advertising agency does its job well, we win not just customers or consumers, but we can gain a community, which community has some enthusiasm and towards the brand, and they can be the fan of a brand. So the communication has to fill the brand with meanings, emotions, and also rational values and other features. So our job is to tell everything about the brand, which can bring closer the brand and the customers. So let's play a little bit. Let's see what kind of brand assets are there, what we can use as a base of a communication. I'm sure you know this guy.
Yes.
Maybe not from films, but maybe a previous presentation of Paolo's father.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you know what brand of coffee he drinks? Yeah.
Espresso.
Nespresso. Very good. That's fine. It's true. So you know it very well. And what do you think about Nespresso? How the Nespresso, the brand, can fit to this phase? Anyone?
So basically the question is why Nespresso has chosen George Clooney to represent him.
Yes.
To represent the company, the firm. So the students, please, do you have an idea?
So if you look at this phase, what do you think about the brand itself?
Maybe it's because he's famous and they're trying to get more people, or because he drinks Nespresso, by example, it attracts more people to drink Nespresso, maybe.
Maybe it's because people admire
he's famous.
him.
You said it.
So
Sorry?
Maybe it's because people admire him, so they want to be like him. Maybe it's their idol, and so if he drinks coffee, they'll be like, if I want to be like him, I have to drink coffee too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's famous, and lots of people want to do the same or want to become like him. But okay, but what if? Okay, you know a very famous rapper, for example. Just that one. So what if a rapper also famous, but can mean different kind of characters and brand than Clooney. So it's very important, obviously that he's famous, but if you look at his face and if you look at this picture, it could mean that the Nespresso means quality. Nespresso means a little bit higher price than other coffee, and it's a lifestyle. It's very elegant and stylish. So not only the famous, but George Clooney presents a whole bunch of characteristics which really fit to the brand characteristics. So when you use a face or a famous people to present your brand, it's important to find the matching points and have the same values what the character has and the brand has. So let's play further. How about him? This is the guy. What kind of brand you assume to present by him?
So, do you know him?
Yes.
Do you know him?
Yes.
So, who is he?
But if you don't know it, it's no matter. So you can see he's a really different kind of man, different style, different hairstyle, different wardrobe, different makeup. Clooney doesn't have any makeup, and he has. So he has a really different character. What brand could fit to him? How do you think?
Mm-hmm. A movie brand? There's no such thing.
Movie? Yeah, movie brand.
Disney.
Movie brand.
I would say vintage clothes.
Vintage clothes, for example. Okay. So the point is, you can see now and feel the difference. So both guys are famous, but can represent very different kind of brand and different style. Okay, another word. If I sorry, not another word. This is a word actually. Safety. If I tell safety, what brand is coming into your mind? So which brand links to the safety?
Mm-hmm. So, any idea? Safety.
Okay, I had something. Okay, let's think about cars, for example. Let's think about cars. So, what kind of car brand could be safety in your mind?
Volvo.
Volvo.
That's quite a cool.
Excellent.
That's safe car brand.
Yeah, excellent. Volvo is a safety car brand. Volvo is the brand who started to communicate the safety as a topic earliest time amongst all the other car brands and car producers. So it's not an accident that most of the people link the safety word to the Volvo because they communicating it for, I don't know, 40 or 50 years. What about this word, sporty? What kind of car brand came to your mind, sporty?
Sport car.
Lamborghini.
Yep.
Mercedes.
Mercedes, Lamborghini. Okay, so different. So can you feel
Ferrari's
that
quite a
different...
fast car. Ferraris.
Sorry?
They're quite fast. Ferrari.
Yeah.
Quite fast.
Ferrari. Yeah. But not Volvo, obviously. So you can see now, if you see a face or if you see a word, it can call different kind of brands to your mind, and this is what the advertising agencies and the marketing guys done with this brand. So as you link this sporty word to Ferrari or Lamborghini or BMW, it's not an accident. This is based on a very, very hard work what the marketing guys and advertising guys done in the last few decades. So that it is. Can you tell me brands if I say music?
Spotify.
Spotify.
iTunes.
iTunes. Very well. Film.
Disney.
Disney.
Netflix.
Netflix. Very well. Internet.
Safari, Chrome.
Google.
Opera.
Google itself. YouTube.
Oh, fine.
Google.
Online shopping.
Amazon. Amazon.
StockX.
Okay. So these words shows you that in different categories there are a few brands which are the leading brands on its category. So you said music, you said Spotify or iTunes. These brands are the most famous brands in this category, and also in films. And you know, age by age it could change. So 10 years or 20 years ago, if I tell you music, I'm sure not Spotify or iTunes will be the first two brands which came to your mind because these brands was not existing on that time, but other music brands was, or also the film, the internet. Disney is a very good company and a very good brand because he's on top. The Disney is on top for decades.
Mm-hmm.
So the successful brands can achieve this position, this top rated position that calls top of mind when you hear a category name like film or internet, the first few brand name which is coming to your mind, these are the top of mind brands. So all the brands want to belong to this this top rated top of mind brand. That's the target. What is your favorite brand? Just for example, and why?
So I'm sure that you have a favorite brand.
Just a few examples. So I'm curious about, you know, why you choose a brand to you in, you know, clothes or makeup or food or any categories.
No? No one?
No one has
one
a favorite.
Apple. That's my favorite one of them all because I have
I
more than one device.
Sandy Melville.
Apple's mine because I have a laptop, an iPad, a phone.
Mm-hmm.
So Apple, you say?
And okay, Apple. And
A laptop,
what do you think about Apple?
iPad.
So Leah, what do you think about Apple?
I listen to everything. The phone,
Okay,
watches, laptops, iPads, no matter what. They're all
Okay.
connected.
All connected. It's a
Everything.
very good buzzword. Yeah. So Apple also did very well. So it's one of the most valued brand in the world because they also done a very good job by commercial and communication, and all those products can link to each other and connect to each other. So this connected word is very important, what you said. And they could achieve if you once chose an Apple product, there's a huge chance next time you also will choose an Apple product and a phone and laptop and tablet and all the other products what they have. And the point is to have a bigger community around the brand, and to achieve the situation that everyone choose your brand, not just today but tomorrow and to the end of the time. So that's why we are working on it, and that's how we can see a few brands like Apple or the few other examples do it very well. So that is what we do, and just a few words because I'm not sure it's very interesting for you. The structure of an average agency. So there is always a client who. This is very important because the clients pay for us. So that's why we can be here. And so the client is the brand owner, as I told you before. And if we look at this 4P, just look at back that the product, the price, and place, it belongs to the client, and also the promotion belongs to them. But the client is in charge to decide what will happen on the product and price and place. And the promotion, so the communication is at the agency side, and there is a client service department, obviously, which links together the client and the agency, and it's a kind of traffic work. So we are working in a communication business, but we also communicate to each other. And the client service department has this communication. So let me understand what the client wants and translate the language what the client use to the creatives and the brand strategy, and backwards. Very important, the brand strategy, because they they have to find out what should be the tone of the communication, what should be the main direction, what kind of media we should use. So we go online, or we go offline, or we use TV commercials, or we use outdoors, billboards, radio. So there are hundreds of channels of the communication, and the strategy has to tell the main direction. The creative team afterwards start to work on the creative materials and the campaigns, and find out the best way what the strategists just deployed. So after the strategy, the creatives create the campaign itself and find out, okay, the strategist said it's a very elegant and stylish brand. What if we use George Clooney for it? So this is a creative idea, for example. And how we can use this platform in different media, how we can use it online, how we can use it in TV spots, and the creatives write the script for example, for a TV spot, and write the headline. There are two departments, or two parts within the creative department. One is the copywriters, and the other one is the art directors. That means the idea can come from both sides. So it's the creative idea is not belong to the copywriters or art directors. So it can come from both sides, but the execution is divided to these two different jobs. So the copywriters obviously write the copies, write the headlines, and write the dialogues if it's a TV spot, or the narration and the script. So they write everything what is necessary. And obviously the art directors, who are graphic designers, they in charge to the visuality of a campaign. So they think about colors, they draw the logos, they all the stuff which belongs to the visuality. The art directors do it.
Okay.
So what I do, as I told you, I established an agency years ago that calls HAB Advert, and at the beginning, because it was a small agency, obviously I did everything. So I was a creative, I was a brand strategist, and I was a managing director and client service and everything.
You did.
Later, sorry.
You did everything.
I did everything. Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To be honest, on this time, I didn't know what's happening and how a professional agency can work. So we just learned it from the market, and by time we gained some experience and find the best way how it works. And yeah, later when we became a bigger agency, obviously I didn't do everything. I stayed in a brand strategy and the creative part of the agency. And nowadays, after the last few years, now I'm only managing. So we have a creative director and strategies and all the creative stuff, but it's not me anymore. I did it because once we moved to London, so I had to step forward and keep apart this daily based work for the agency. And another thing is I established a film production company, and I have to pay more attention to this new business. So how it came, as I told you, the film commercials, the TV commercials is one of the most important parts of the advertising business, and I always love to do it. And I was lucky to do it so much. I shot around 500 TV ads in the last 20 years, and as an agency, we started to produce our own commercials. So there is a borderline between an advertising agency and a film production company. An advertising agency, as I told you, just write the script and find out the story. Okay, I go further to the short case study.
Mr.
So
Mr.
yes.
Yes, I'm afraid that we are going to stop here because it's already 3:40, and I would like the students to ask you a question. Maybe we could reschedule another Zoom if you want to share your experience.
No, that's all. It's just 1 minute left.
Okay.
No worries.
Okay.
So this is a script what an agency write. It's only the story and only what is important for the brand. And there is a treatment what a film director creates. It's more about the feeling and more the location, casting. So it's more filming stuff. And finally, there is a shooting when all the other professionals do their jobs, you know, the DOPs, the lightnings, and the wardrobe and makeup artists and all the others put together. And finally, the film itself is ready, and then the final cut is on the air. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. So if you have any question, maybe we are going to stop sharing if you don't mind.
Okay.
So I can see everyone. Okay, could you please, open your camera. So Marie-Louise, you got the first question.
How long have you been working in the in your job for?
In where?
How long have you been working for your job?
Oh, okay. I started somewhere I can't remember. It was a long time ago, but somewhere in the middle of 90s or late 90s when I started to work in my agency. So I've done the agency work more than 20 years, and the film producing is about 3 or 4 years.
Thank you.
Another question. I have a question because I went to your website and I looked at some commercial that you did. So you talk a lot about the brands. So for which brand could you, which example could you give of the ads that you did? For which brand, for example, the brand that the students could know?
Students could know. Okay, for example, my last huge job, what I did in person, is the Aldi. I don't know, maybe the most of the students know this brand. It's a German-based discount chain.
Yeah, Aldi.
And
Aldi.
And
Aldi.
Aldi. And it was a huge challenge because Aldi entered the Hungarian market in a very late of time, so maybe 2008 or 2009, and all the other major competitors was on the market already with huge market share, and Aldi just started from the zero awareness and zero selling, zero stores, so it was not easy. And within a few years, we achieved that Aldi became, as I told you, in the top of mind. So Aldi became the top 3 retail brand in Hungary, and I think it's a really good achievement.
Okay.
So I'm very proud of it. That was the latest job what I did in person, and which is a well-known brand.
Mm-hmm. So, Marie-Louise, another question.
Have you ever worked outside Hungary or Bulgaria?
So, I don't know if you have heard the question, Mr. Horvath. No?
I didn't.
So,
have you ever worked outside Hungary or Bulgaria?
No, it's a new direction for me. I worked always in Hungary. There are a few occasions when we done campaigns and short films before for Swiss, Austrian, and Slovenian market as well, on German market. But it's a new challenge in my life. What started a few 2 years ago when we came back to London in 2018, because with my film production company, I tried to find clients here in the UK, and later I would like to find clients in France and Holland and other countries. So this is my new goal, and obviously that's the reason why we are here.
Mm-hmm. Which advice could you give the students if they want to work in the film producing industry, for example? Because when you describe your journey, you took the opportunity when they were there. So, but if they want to work in the same kind of sector, which advice would you give them?
I think it's not a disadvantage if someone likes the films, for example, and if you like the film and if you have any talent or any willing to do the film, nowadays it's very easy. So all the technical stuff is in your hand. You can shoot film with your phone easily. So okay, technically more difficult and more complicated stuff for a professional filming, but with your phone you can shoot films what can show your talent, and you can tell stories through a film, and you can communicate, or you can tell thoughts what is in your brain, in your mind, and that's important. So if you have something to express, so if you want to express yourself, filming is a good way, and you have a tool in your hand to do this.
Okay, thank you very much. Has anyone a question? One more question, otherwise we will say goodbye to Mr. Horvath and a very huge thank you. So I don't know if anyone has a question. One more question? Yes? No? But
no more question.
But how you got a question for your dad? Or Bruno, have you got a question for your dad?
No.
No question. You know everything by heart.
They know everything.
Bruno, have you got a question? No? No. No. Okay. So thank you very much, Mr. Horvath. We are going to take a picture because we have like a tradition. So everyone, camera on, please. Okay.